بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وآله. Today we are looking at the naming of Surah Al-Furqan. What is the meaning of Al-Furqan and why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name this Surah Al-Furqan? Al-Furqan essentially comes from the word which is tafriq, to make different or to differentiate. And this is one of the names of the Quran, as Allah mentions it in other parts of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Yawm al-Furqan, here referring to the incident of Badr, which he also named Al-Furqan because it differentiated things. It made things clarity and clarify matters. Who is doing what? Where is the right? Where is the wrong? And this surah, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, تبارك الذي نزل الفرقان, he clearly mentions that one of the names of the Quran is the Furqan because that it is the quality of the Quran. It is a book of guidance, it is a book which shows the qualities and it clarifies the realities and it makes a distinction between those who are following the truth and those who are following the falsehood. And the truth has to come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate source of truth. So those who follow Allah, those who follow the Furqan, then they are following the truth. And those who choose to go against the Furqan, then they are the ones who are following their desires and they will not attain what they are looking for. So this surah sets out a clear distinction, if you like, between what is good and what is bad. In the surah also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards the end of surah, he describes the qualities of Ibadur Rahman, what he names, those who are the worshippers or the slaves of Ar-Rahman, and they have specific qualities, and those qualities is again what makes them distinct, what differentiates them from the rest. And it is their ibadah, it's their worships, it's their act of akhlaq, it's how they deal with matters. That's what sets them out. And in fact, when Allah sets their beginning, He's talking about how their akhlaq really differentiates them, in the sense that when how they deal with abuse, how they deal with people who are ignorant and people who try to mock them, or people who try to get in their way, and how they try to overcome that. So and the other qualities I mentioned there, and so that's an aspect of the Furqan. Also, in this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us some of the stories of the prophets before, but he makes a very important reference to what the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said or will say, and that is, my Lord, my people have taken this Quran, they have abandoned the Quran, and so it is almost like looking into the future. So the Prophet ﷺ has brought the Quran, and I can tell you now that one thing that really excited not just the Muslims but even the non-Muslims was the revelation of the Quran. As these verses came down, people were excited to hear what was coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was a great source of motivation for them, and it was a great source of mystery as well for those who didn't believe, so they can hear the words and they knew that this was something special. So that this verse is not applicable to the first generation, but rather it's almost like the Prophet ﷺ looking into the future, seeing that one of the aspects of where Muslims fall short is that they have abandoned the Quran, they have abandoned the Furqan. And so now when they abandon the Quran, they no longer have the measurements, they no longer have the balance, they no longer have the criterion to distinguish between what is good and what is bad. So what happens? They fall behind, they fall off the bus and under the bus, and they're no longer on the right path. And that's why it's important to set the Furqan as an important criterion in your life to give you that guidance of what is right and what is wrong, what can be accepted and what cannot be accepted. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of the name of the Quran, he makes a special mention here for us to understand, and he gives us the warning, if you like, for those who abandon the Furqan, how their realities will change. Wallahu a'lam.